the state of Florida. And during this period of the year, beginning June 1st, we have hurricanes. And they always tell us to prepare ourselves for the hurricanes. Amen. That means you have to have sound shelter. You have to have enough food in stock. You have to have the kind of seeing material like lanterns, battery-operated lanterns, and other things you need.
That's right.
But most importantly, you've got to have God on your side.
Yes, amen. Amen.
If you got God on your side, He is your shelter. Am I right?
Right. Right about
How many of you believe that God is your shelter?
Yeah.
God is your shelter. I don't care how you look at it. God is your shelter. Moses realized this many, many, many years ago. And, you know, he had a lot of people to be pastored to. He had all kinds of problems with those folk. Miles and miles of people that he was their shelter. He had to lead them. And I heard George McCrae say one night that if God had told Moses what he had to go through with people, he said, not today, Lord. Because he had so many things and problems he had to go through with people. And don't ever believe that being a pastor is an easy job. He's not just a pastor on Sunday, on Tuesday or Wednesday to Bible study and rehearsal or doing evangelistic periods of time, but he's a full-time 7/24 pastor. Over these last almost 34 years now, I have gotten out of my bed at 3 o'clock in the morning to meet people. I have gone to the jailhouse and visit with them. I've had to go to court and stand up and say to the judge, this is one of my best members, Judge. Forgive me, Lord. That's what pastors have to go through. Yeah. Just imagine having almost 500,000 people to lead. Now, it's hard enough to lead 25 or 30. Sometimes you have problems. Someone told me, who is a pastor in DeLand, Florida, he's a very good friend of mine and has been for years. I've got 5 members and 4 of them raised hell. That's what you go through. What I'm saying to you is support your pastor. Understand the things that he's going through. Pray for him. He's praying for you. He's there for you. Sometimes we want to go. My wife and I often go out to the Daytona Cubs and see the ball games. And if somebody calls, I have to forget about the Daytona Cubs. If they call on the cell phone, I leave that and go and see about what they want. I don't care what time it is in the night. Amen. So it was with Moses in this 90th Psalm. Now look what he says. In the beginning, Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. God has been with us ever since we took the first breath in our lives. God was with us in 90 years. God's a spirit moving all over this building right here. Well, and I remember the old building. It was a wood building. The pastor was a friend of mine, Quentin Teasley. And the church was, God still hovered over the church. And for 90 years, I don't care who it was, God was here helping that person come through these things. 90 years is a long time. Moses said, thou hast been our dwelling place. In other words, dwelling is walking with us. He walked with us now for 90 years. That's a long time. When God walked with you, I don't care how old you are. If God walked with you, he walked with you. One of my friends who's going to heaven now said a young woman came to his door in Jacksonville, Florida. His name was Louis Adams. And Louis said he came to his door. The young lady came to Mister, I'm here to ask you something. He said, what? He said, do you know the Lord? And Louis said, I'm 85 years old, baby. I've known him for a long time. And when you know the Lord, everything will be all right. As long as you're walking along with the Lord, as Moses walked along with the Lord, as this pastor walks along with the Lord, everything will be all right. Amen. 90 years. Somebody had to bring this group of saints along that for those period of years. Many have gone. Many have gone since I've been pastoring. Others have replaced them. Now let me tell you something. Moses didn't have it easy, as I said before. Moses had people that hated him.
Well.
That talked about it. His sister talked about it. His brother Aaron talked about it. His brother Aaron, he made a golden calf. Am I right about that? And as Moses was up on the mountain receiving the 10 Commandments, the Lord said, here's something happening down there. Go down and see what's going on. Sometime we have to go and see what's going on.
That's right.
Because people can be mean in the church.
Well.
And sometime when you get older, you get more healthy. Now, I can talk about you because I'm your same age. I ain't worried. I'm old too. Amen. I've been getting myself here a long time. The Lord told Moses, go down and see what's going on. And as a result of that, Moses went down and they were having a ball. And Moses took the tablets and God got them and broke them because he got angry. And sometimes the pastor get a little bit perturbed in the way in which we handle ourselves in the church. The church ought to be a peaceful place. Amen. The church ought to be a place where you can come as a refuge and have a good time in it. You don't have to go to the next bar to have a good time. I guess it's still open. I don't know if it's still open. Last time I went there. That's a long time. I told you I've been around for a while. Last time I went there, I was a member of Friendship Baptist Church under Dr. J.C. Bentley. And we went to Witness. And I was a person who was leading the group. And we went to Nick's bar. And I was a young fellow, just a few years younger than I am. But at any rate, we went down there, and as a result of that, I had my Bible in the hand, a little Bible, and as a result, the man had a bottle of whiskey in his hand, and he looked out and he said, what you want? I said, nothing. Scared the life out of me. Sometimes we have to look on the pastor's side. We have to pray for the pastor. We have to pray for his family. And most importantly, we have to support his wife. Amen. Not going to go your way all the time. It doesn't go his way most of the time. It didn't go the way Moses wanted it to go. Moses got angry several times leading the people out of Egypt. He got angry several times leading the people out of Egypt. But you know what? He kept on going. Amen. He kept on going. And that's what we have to do. We have to do what? Keep on going. Amen. All right. And God is our refuge. When you know that God is your refuge, you don't have nothing to fear but fear itself. Amen. Somebody said that a long time ago during the Second World War. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. All right. Somebody told me that. I said, well, I don't know. We don't have to worry about anything if you believe in God and God is your refuge. Now Moses went on to say, in this particular verse, we are consumed by God's anger, for he sees man's sin. Even so-called secret sins are open to him. God knows your secret sin. God knows our hearts.
Yes,
God knows when you sneak around the corner.
Yes,
I went down to the Key West one day, and I was a member of Friendship. And when I got down there, my wife and I got down there, we got out, registered the hotel, and one of the deacons was coming out with a woman. And he said, damn, I can't go nowhere. Don't you know God is looking at us? I don't care where you go. And you can't go no further than Key West. You're at the end of the state. And he was walking out of the hotel, I'm walking in. You can't hide from God. I stopped by one of my deacon's house years ago. He's going to heaven. I stopped by one of my deacon's house one morning early because I wanted him to go with me to see somebody. A young lady called me, and I don't ever go to young lady's house unless my wife go or one of the deacons go. Amen. And when I got to his house, he had a Colt 45 in his hand. And he didn't know whether to throw it away, put it under his coat, and do what. Now my problem was he didn't offer me one. All right. Don't you know you can't hide from God? I don't care what you do, you can't hide from God. I don't care where you go, wherever you go, God is there. Am I right about it? We have one moon, and that moon shines all over. God is looking all over. And Moses reminds us that of our secret sins. There are no secret sins. There's no place we can go. There's nothing we can do. But if we serve God, if the church serves God, the church belongs to Jesus Christ.
That's right.
It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to my pastor. It doesn't belong to the deacons. It doesn't belong to the deaconess or anybody else. It belongs to Jesus. And we in unity. We in unity work together. And Paul so well described. If I'm not the eyes, I have no nose. If I'm not the feet, I have no legs. All of it work together. And when you get a certain age, most of us start working anyway, but you go ahead. God adores the church. And for 90 years, God's Spirit has been in this congregation. And I must say that you've done a beautiful job. The most important thing is unity. That's the most important thing, is unity. Learn how to live together. And most importantly, that's what my Lord said, your Lord said, forgive. If someone says something, you forgive. I often tell my members, if I've done something to you, I apologize. Now, they could have done it to me, but I'll go back and say, if I've done anything to you, I apologize. I don't want to lose your friendship. I don't want to lose your fellowship. I want to be the kind of Christian that the Lord would have me to be. That's the most important thing. I stopped by to tell you that God is our refuge. And long as he has his everlasting power in heaven, he will always be our refuge. He will always take care of us. He will always make sure that we are all right. Amen. 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 someone. Unity is the most important thing. And when you look at Psalms 90, you can understand what Moses was saying. You know, I could stand here and hoop and holler all night. And when you live here, you would know a thing. But if you've ever heard of Dr. Rogers P. Fair, that was one of my mentors. And I've never seen Roger when he was preaching at certain morning get up unless he had some humor. Because people like to go to sleep in church. And I don't think I had anybody that shouted at my church too much in the last 25 years, unless they carried a shotgun. But thank God for this passion. And thank God for each of you for coming out tonight and this fun.